What's up, guys? Zeus here, back with another video. Quick reminder, if you do like what you're watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of me and my content. Damn, only a 2? Really? Okay, that sucks. But yeah, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, we have a lot of new updates to go over. They've released a lot of new information on the test for the test servers that we're going to be seeing in like 4 days. On the 11th, I think, is when we're going to be seeing all of these updates active in test server to see whether they'll actually be fully implemented to the game or not. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff to go over. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. Alright, so here we have the new updates that are coming up to the test server. Now, I need to say this right now, none of these are fucking confirmed. These are all just like what they're trying out in test server. We've seen it before with a lot of buffs and changes, like if anyone remembers the infamous Mind's Eye buff where she was going to get a push, but ultimately they decided not to go through with it. Which to this day I still don't understand why they wouldn't want to give a useless character a defense mechanism when kiting. But just a quick scroll, like there's a lot of things to cover. So with all that being stated, then let's start off right here with the new external trait. This is a new hunter trait right here. It's gonna be called Wormhole. So I guess that's pretty cool. Let's see. We were reacting this to live, by the way, on the GSL podcast. So I'm gonna go just more in depth on my thoughts, my ideas on what could potentially be the case and what could be the potential with this trait. So Wormhole says its description: the most brilliant performance can paralyze its viewers' nerves while hiding imminent murderous intentions. Oh, that actually tells me there's not going to be a notification for this thing, like maybe for teleport. Like that just tells me like this is going to be like old Dream Witch. You got to pay the fuck attention. Select a location up to 60 meters away. After a short delay, a wormhole will appear at your location and the selected location. The hunter can teleport between the entrances. After 2 uses, the wormhole will disappear. There is a 3-second interval between each usage. The wormholes last for 30 seconds. You can click the skill before 30 seconds is up to destroy the wormholes early. And the cooldown is 100 seconds. So there's 2 to 3 things that I need to know. Number one, number one is selecting locations, right? We are aware that with teleport, you can select a location of where you want to teleport by looking at a cipher or a chair or some other thing that is like a tangible object for the hunter to teleport to. Like with Hellenberg, he can use a external trait teleport to his puppets if both puppets are on cooldown, stuff like that. So I just need to see how the hunter can actually select. You feel me? Like how would they be able to actually select where they're gonna set up this wormhole? Because that's my real own. That's how I want to see it, because that'll really determine whether how good this trait is or not. Number 2 is how long the wormholes last for. And when I say it's cooldowns, not how long the wormholes last. Apologies. I want to know about cooldowns, and the reason I want to know about cooldown, despite it saying, well, Zeus, it says that the cooldown is 100 seconds. I want to know whether the cooldown is going to start from the setup of the wormholes or from the usage of the wormholes. Because if the cooldown starts counting down from the setup of the wormholes, that means, realistically speaking, like that means at best case scenario, you're actually only on cooldown for 70 seconds because the wormholes last for 30 seconds, you know? So I want to just know when that cooldown is going to be starting, because again, if it's only a 70 seconds, this is just honestly like, this is really just a better teleport, because that at least you can go back to where you were if you don't want to commit to something. Like this is honestly really just a better teleport. So that it's like if cooldown starts up when you first place it, like that's really good, because that means you're really only on cooldown for 70 seconds per wormhole, and that's really fucking good, like incredibly good. Next up, we have Wu Chungus over here. Wu Chang, my boy, and we have a lot more coming up, so don't worry. I know I already scrolled through for Naiad as well, so we'll hop right into hers as well when we're done. So Wu Chang's white form, normal attack delay is reduced from 0.82 seconds to 0.7 seconds. So that means when Wu Chang's normal attack, not his charge attack, when his normal attack does not hit anything, his recovery is just increased a little bit. Black Form's window vault time reduced from 2 seconds to 1.8. He vaults windows faster. At full presence, the animation after releasing Soul Typhon is reduced from 2 seconds to 1 second. So in other words, he can swing earlier when he's at a full presence, like on some Blackguard level shit. Naiad, charging time for Surging Tides is reduced from 18 seconds to 15 seconds. They're giving Naiad a mini buff. They're just decreasing the cooldown for her dash ability. That's what it's called, Surging Tides. Alright, so now we have Opera Singer's nerfs over here. Finally, the long-awaited Opera Singer. So here, Opera's nerfs say, the acceleration effect after entering a new shadow area is reduced from 50% to 45%. Shadow's Leap cooldown increased from 17 to 20 seconds. Now, this might be a little bit game-changing for Opera, and I say might be because I don't know how effective 50% to 45% is gonna be. Like, it's a really huge goddamn number. So it's like how, you know, how effective will it really be in practice? Now, the thing that I want to focus on though is her leap cooldown, her shadow leap. So their shadow leap is when she just throws like the shadow dagger at just like the air, shadow comes out and then she can dash on it. That cooldown being increased from 17 seconds to 20 seconds is actually really important, because when you look at it from a additive perspective, so you know, you get 17 compared to 20, so you have 17-20, then you have 34-40, then you have 51-60s, and you can see that like over time you are actually on, you know, because you know they changed the cooldown by 3 seconds, it's increasing your overall usage, it's decreasing the overall usage rate by 3 seconds every time. And the reason I'm bringing this up as an argument is because we saw this happen with Bloody Queen. Bloody Queen used to be the queen of the game, for those that didn't know. Back when she first released, Season 8, Season 9, Season 7's, like, Season 7 was her release, but we don't talk about that bullshit. Season 7, 8, and 9, like, she was the absolute undisputed queen of the game. And why? It's because just like Opera Singer right now, she had little to no cooldowns. Like, and all they did for Bloody Queen was they adjusted her movement speed because she was just too fast, and they also changed cooldowns. They increased the cooldowns of mirrors. So at the beginning of the game, she didn't have her mirror for 8 seconds, and then after that, her cooldowns for her mirrors were increased by 3 seconds. They did all that. They didn't really touch her that much, and then she immediately shot down. She couldn't keep up, and that was just because of adjusting cooldowns and making it so that way, then, you know, she doesn't just have broken abilities from the start of the game, where survivors don't have shit, and half of the time they gotta work for abilities. So I don't know how substantial the acceleration effect is gonna be, but the shadow leap cooldown, maybe that could actually do something. So now we have Painter. Painter, after memorizing the hunter's face, has 67% progress. He can begin to paint at a slower speed. While drawing, he can continue to memorize the hunter's face. As he continues to memorize the hunter's face, his painting speed will increase. Fastest painting speed is the same as it is currently. Painter can place his painting after it's 67% complete. The more completed his painting is, the longer the hunter will admire the painting. Maximum admire time is the same as currently. So another, pretty much just Painter now, you don't need to worry about getting the hunter's full face. Like, you don't gotta stare at them and run into walls. You know, you can just get a bit of them and have your ability now on standby. You do take longer to paint. However, you can also place your painting at any part that once it is 67% complete. Just know that obviously, you know, your stun won't last as long. I think this adjustment though is pretty good, because it's saying that the painter can place painting at 67% completion, and he only needs 67% of the hunter's face. So depending on how slow that decreased painting speed is for if you only have 67% of the hunter's face memorized, I think this will be a really good buff, because Painter already paints his paintings like really fast. So if you just get 67% of the face and you just start painting away, like, it'll take a bit longer, but the trade-off is worth it, in my opinion. Like the trade-off is just worth it. Like, I don't know. I have to see this in game. Like, I need to see like this how it's tested. Now, Journalist. To all my Journalist players, rise up. I know I was an avid Journalist hater, but one of my main gripes with Journalist was that if she's left with her fucking rescue clone, she can't do anything. Now, it says If only her rescuing illusion remains, you can switch it to a containing illusion. Do we understand that my only issue with Journalist has been resolved? Do we know what this means? I like Journalist now. Because now she can actually pick up items. Item swap plays are possible. She's not useless. Like now she's not dead weight when she only has her rescue clone left. And as crazy of a statement that is to say, sometimes you don't need that damn rescue clone. It feels like half of the time you are forced to use it when you don't want to use it, because if you don't use it and then you get chased, you're stuck with nothing. You're stuck with a camera that can't do anything. Instead, now you can swap that damn rescue clone to a containing illusion when it is the last clone. So now it entices players to save their rescue clones if they don't need to use it, burn up all their kiting clones so then they can gain then a 4th kiting clone. Keep in mind though, that does mean her decoding debuff now, technically speaking, goes up to 22%, but who cares? That's only on hit. This is such a great change for Journalist, bro. Like, this is actually such an amazing change. Like, I love this, bro. Like, yes, this is what I need. This is what is needed for Journalist, bro. This is what is needed. I have Perfumer. Perfumer, duration of animation after backtracking with Perfume is reduced from 0.83 seconds to 0.49. So for my Perfumer players out there, that little animation that you get when you perfume back, it's shorter now. Which means now you can kite earlier, you can kite longer, because you're not stuck in an animation embracing the pheromones of your perfume. So really good, like that, because that animation was long and it was like really fucking painful to deal with. So W's to my perfumers in the chat. W's, thank you all my Perfumer players out there. Wildling, shorten animation to enter riding state. Nice, because he gets hit out of that shit a lot, and it's like really annoying when my randoms do that shit because they don't know their animations. Shorten the lurching animation after Wildling performs a bump. So when Wildling pushes a hunter, there's like a little animation where like he's like stuck with like the boar, like I don't know, like raising its hind legs in the air and trying to like grab its balance or some shit, trying to balance itself. That animation is shorter now, so we don't have shit to worry about that for now. Riding state cooldown after the boar is fatigued, hit off boar or riding duration ends is changed to 30 seconds. Now this is massive. This is very good. Why is this good? Because now it doesn't matter whether you get hit off boar. Now it doesn't matter whether you get off boar. Your cooldown is 30 seconds. Because for those of you that didn't know, if you got hit off boar or your boar ends, you were put on cooldown for 60 seconds. You were put on a 60-second cooldown if you got hit off it or if it ended. But if you chose to get off it, then your cooldown would be 30 seconds. Now your cooldown is just universally 30 seconds, which is really good for a character that wants to be harassing more than half of the time, to be honest, with the way this character is played and used. Although I guess technically if you want to get to a competitive sense, you know, Wildling is only used for as a rescuer, and he's only used for Naiad, and they don't really use Wildling for support unless they can really afford to, but that's aside from the point. Now, he also did receive a nerf, which is like, it's a really niche nerf though. If Wildling's charge at the hunter is interrupted, the hunter's knockback will also be interrupted. So there was this neat trick with Bonbon with Wildling where if you were on board against a Bonbon and you wanted to push the Bonbon back, you can wait until he put down a bomb and there was 1 second on the bomb. You start your push at the 1 second, you get chipped off, the animation of the push will cancel, but the hunter will still be pushed all the way back as if the Wildling is still pushing. So you can animation cancel your push, just get the hunter literally away for free as if you are a Jedi, and you just use the force to push the hunter back on some Darth Vader shit. You know? Now that's gone. You can no longer do that. Do I care? No, not really, because I guarantee you most Wildling mains didn't even know this was a thing. I'm gonna be honest. I like for the 2 Wildling players that I get in rank, I've never seen them use this trick before. So they probably were not even aware that this was a thing. Up until now, in which now they're gonna use it in ranked for like a TikTok and then be like, oh, why are they taking this away? Hundreds are so quiet, baby. You're taking away my precious blah, blah, blah. Even though they didn't know this trick was an actual thing until now. So yeah. Now, Aeroplanist, this one hurts me a lot. Distance propelled forward is reduced. Sure, hurts me a lot because I play Aero. Fuck me. Yeah, they're reducing his distance because people are complaining about it, even though he has a fair cooldown for all the distance. Like 15 seconds for one jetpack is quite, for one propeller is quite the fucking cooldown. It is quite the fair trade, if you ask me. However, his hover has been adjusted. Hover can be used as long as there are remaining propels left, and hover has a cooldown of 150 seconds. It's as long as a fucking blink, man. 2.5 minutes. So the key words with this are as long and remaining propels. So previously, Aeroplanist could use his hover regardless of having propellers or not. You could just have it and use it. It did not matter whether you had propels or not. Now, as long as you have propellers, you can just use hover. So that means when you are out of propellers, I am assuming that the hover icon is going to disappear like it does now for when you use hover for the one time you are allowed to use it in game. However, hover has an 150-second cooldown. Why does this thing have a longer cooldown than flywheel? Why? Like, I understand that it's a broken concept because I just go in the air and I put, but make it like, it doesn't need to be as long as blink. Like, as long as blink? Like, I don't know, bro. It's like, I'm looking too into it because realistically, like, now you only have one anyway. So, like, technically speaking, it can be perceived as a buff because they're giving him the ability to use more than one. But let me just put y'all on real quick. 150, 300, 450. That is 7.5 minutes. What games are you getting that are lasting 7.5 minutes that aren't like Clark, Hermit, Joseph? Like, you're like, I don't, like 100, like if they wanted this to be a usable thing, I just don't see why you would make it 150 seconds. Which just tells me like they were just doing this shit so that way it's like, you see guys, it's not a nerf because even though we killed like the distance that you're getting, you can have hover, but we're gonna make it so you can almost never use the fucking hover. It's really idiotic. Now next up we have Insolence adjustments. So Insolence, on the GSL podcast we were talking about it. Me and Malcolm, we said this was a nerf, and that was because to our knowledge Insolence increased increased all the way to full price. And back then it did. Back in the early seasons it did. So we had just forgotten when they changed Insolence last time to make it thing. But back in the olden days it used to go to full price. I have footage of it. It's like really old ass footage, but I can probably find it. If I can't find it, well then rip, sucks to suck, I guess. I guess the footage, like, I don't know. But I have seen it in succession, and Malcolm has also had footage of it before. So Insolence changed. Insolence will continue to provide 1,000 presents after the match starts. After presence reaches first tier, the speed of the presents granted by Insolence will decrease the more presents the hunter has. So in other words, now the hunters can still build up presents with Insolence. It's just slower. I'm assuming they're gonna just cut that thing in half. Like, it's just gonna be instead of like building up, like, I don't know, like, I don't know how Insolence, because I know Insolence takes 100 seconds. So that means you gain, like, what is it, 100 presents every 10 seconds. You gain 100 presents every 10 seconds because it takes 100 seconds for Insolence to fully proc by itself to get your first presents. So that means, I'm assuming now they're gonna make it that every 10 seconds now you just get like 50 presents or something. It's a really small buff, but it helps a little bit. Like, I don't know, like 50 presents every 10 seconds, like, it's not gonna be that noticeable. It's honestly gonna be really negligible. I'm assuming how they're gonna do it. I don't know how their reduction is gonna work. Maybe they'll do it more systematically or mathematically. Like, it'll just reduce, like, maybe after you hit 1,000 then it'll go down to 80, then when you get like to 1,500 it'll go down to like 60, then when you get to 2,000 it'll go down to like 50. Like, I don't know how they're gonna do it. In my head, the most logical thing is just once you hit 1,000, instead of 100 presents every 10 seconds, it's 50 presents every 10 seconds, and that's the most I can see with it. But this is a nice little mini buff, I guess. Now for the other adjustments, and I'm gonna go on a really long fucking tangent about these goddamn adjustments when we get to the others, because holy shit, bro, I hate this shit. So firstly, novelists can swap with Dream Witch followers that are not being actively controlled. We like this. We love this. We want this. Amazing. Adjusted field of view for phones with different screen ratios. Good job. Fix the issue where hunters can hit survivors through the rocket chair. Good fucking job. Great fucking job. Amazing done job. Because the amount of times that the hunter should just be hitting the fucking chair and they just say, nah, fuck the chair and hit me instead when I'm on the opposite end. Thank you. Love you for this. And now, proceedingly, fuck you for this. Promotion and overflow points have been removed. When you have enough tier points, you will directly enter the next tier. When your points drop below 0, the first match will deduct 0 points, and if you have another loss, your tier will demote. So no more promo matches. This is going to work the same way as champion and Titan rank does. For the lot of you that don't know, the way you hit Titan is once you hit champion 25 stars, there is no promotion, there is no like fancy match. It's just once you hit the 25th star, you immediately just get promoted up to Titan, and that's it. Works the same way with Hydra. Once you hit Dragon 25 stars, you just immediately turn into a Hydra, and that's it. There's no promotion match, nothing. Now, when you lose the 25th star on either faction, then you get demoted back down to the Dragon or Champion respectively. So that's what they're implementing with the other tiers, except you still have, Griffin 5, Griffin 4, Griffin 3, Griffin 2, Griffin 1, because it says when you have enough tier points, directly enter the next tier. The tiers are still an existing factor in this. There's no change in that. Tiers are still existing. Just means that now no more promo matches, which means I don't need to worry about randoms throwing my promos. Oh yeah, so good. Yeah, this is the fire. I like this. Now, when mobile player turns on mixed matching to match with PC players, the additional rank points obtained label and change from stronger opponent to device difference. Now, this is where I get upset, because why the fuck, netease? Why the fuck did you think this was a good idea? When a hunter is matched with a survivor whose team average is higher than the hunter's hunter rank, the hunter will gain an extra point for fighting a strong opponent. When the rank gap is larger, the hunter can earn an additional 2 rank points for, and I'm going to put on a voice for this, the hunter can earn an additional 2 rank points for fighting the chosen one. Because, why are we giving these badass titles to these shitty randoms? Why? Why are we giving these, crappy randoms, these, fucking, throughout heaven and earth alone, I am the honored one ass titles? The chosen one, my guy? The chosen one? Who am I fighting? Buddha himself? I have to be fighting the reincarnation of Christ for them to be called the chosen one. What is this? This is not an anime. This is IdentityV. Talking about the chosen one. No, bro. No. What is it? On our real shit, why are we babying the hunters more? The hunters already can gain half a star in one match. The hunters can gain at max plus 16 from a match, just by itself. So now what? We're giving them now the ability to gain pretty much 2/3 of a star every match? No. Climbing to Hydra is an actual joke now. You mean to tell me that a hunter can get 2/3 of a star? Let me put this into perspective. The average rank session, if you play from start to finish, you can get 10 to 12 matches, depending on the hunters that you play. Assuming you're not playing any slowdown shit, you can get 12 matches. Assuming every match lasts 5 to 6 minutes, counting with including obviously queue times. You can get up to 12 matches. So if we do, you have 5 stars, right? It takes 150 points to promo from sub-tier to sub-tier, because it's 30 points per star. You mean to tell me that a hunter can promote an entire sub-tier? Think about it. Assuming minimum only 10 matches. It's actually technically 19 points and not 20, because you're highballing it, because 20 is 2/3. So we're going to play by those rules. Assuming the hunter gains 19 points per match, because now realistically that is going to be the thing. If they 4-man every match and get the fighting strong opponent and fighting the chosen one points, they're going to get 19 points per match. 19-20 points per match. You can get 10 matches minimum per rank session. So if we do 10 times 10, that's 100. If we do 9 times 10, that's 90. 100 plus 90 is 190. It takes 150 points to promote from a sub-tier. Why are we giving hunters the ability to go a sub-tier and a star in one session? Why? When survivor rank, you could decode, kite, rescue, pallet stun, heal, And if you're the first one dead, you automatically lose fucking 7 points if you lose. It does not matter what you do. If you're the first person dead and the team loses, you will lose 7 fucking points. Why are we babying the hunters? Why are we giving them the fucking chocolate milk? Like, no, like, they did it. Yo, like, I just don't understand. Like, we were going NetEase. We were going in a great direction with with acknowledging that, hey, randoms suck fucking ass. So we're gonna give these people more points if they decide to solo rank. We were going in such a fucking great direction. And how we're doing this shit? We just had to grab Hunter up again, pick him up, kiss him on the forehead while we have the goddamn survivor drowning in the pool. Oh, like, why? I can play Hunter now and gain a sub tier and a star in one session? And that's at minimum, by the way. That's at minimum. If you actually manage to maximize and get the 12 matches, what is that? 120, 96, that's 216 points per session, which is 2.5 stars? Like, is that fair? You mean to tell me at max in a session, I can get 2.5 stars? I can get 7 stars. 7.5 stars in one set? Like, no. For survivors who then also, like, just get to eat shit? Fuck no. This, like, why? I hope you know I'm on this, by the way, because that means queue times are going to be even more abysmal. Because now, early season, for the Hunter tryhards, like, who do 3 sessions a day, we're gonna have dragons within the first week, bro. We're gonna have dragons within the first week. I'm telling you this right now. We are actually gonna have dragons, like, sub 1 week. Like, it's insane. And oh my god, bro. Like, this is so horrid. Like, I hate this change. Like, I hate this. Like, this is so, like, not fun, bro. Like, this is not good at all. Like, I hate this shit, man. Well, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope you all did enjoy me going over these changes, because Jesus H Christ, man. NetEase, bro. NetEase. Man, why are we doing this shit, man? Oh no. Aeroplanist, I don't know how to feel. Opera, I'll have to see. Hunter ranking system, oh my god, queue times are actually going to be fucking horrid now. Queue times are actually going to be abysmal, and it's crazy. Oh, NetEase, please. Like, we were doing good with some of these things, but Jesus Christ, man, we're doing bad with a lot now. I hope you all did enjoy. I'm Zeus, and I'm out. Peace out, everyone. Love you all.